So, on the 14th of April in the year of our Lord 2018, the great nerdening begins.
So I'm here with Stuart from Warcradle. Tom and I have just had an awesome game of Wild West Exodus. Really good game. What sets Wild West Exodus apart from other sort of competing games?
Well, I think Exodus, one of the charms, one of the attractions to Wild West Exodus, it's set in the dystopian age, which is the overall realm, the world that the game takes place in. It focuses on the Badlands of America. So you've got the historical element, Abraham Lincoln and things like that, but you've also got science fiction because there's aliens out there and there's weird supernatural things going on under the ground. It's a setting that's familiar but at the same time very different and kind of like a twisted reflection of our world, and there's some quite interesting, as you would have seen when you're playing the game, some quite interesting dynamics with how the game plays as well that keeps it very edgy of seat and quite exciting and energetic, which matches the background, which I think is quite good.
Yeah, it's really good fun as well. So how does it link in with Dystopian Wars?
So Dystopian Wars is also set in the same world, the dystopian age. So what you have, Wild West Exodus essentially is one small corner of a much larger world.
So let's talk about Salute in general. What does Salute kind of mean to you guys? How do you find it improves your ability to connect with people and tell them about Wild West Exodus?
So Salute, we've been going as part of Wayland Games, but also as Warcradle Studios. We've been coming to Salute for many years. We've supported the South London Warlords. It's a great show. We've seen it grow as we've grown. We'll be at the UK Games Expo, which is great, and that lets us speak with a group of people. We're going to be over at Gen Con, that lets us speak with a number of people. But at Salute, it has a slightly more historical feel to a lot of the gaming here, and some of the more quirky games you will see at Salute. So there are people that come out very much for those games that we want to meet. We want to talk to, we want to show them what our game's about. We hope that there's something there that they go, oh, okay, so I'm into historical gaming. Your game's got history in it, which it does, so there's a natural shoe-in for them. But also, if they like the more quirky, unusual games, well, there's not many games that are as quirky or unusual as this.
Absolutely. So what has surprised you most about the show this year so far?
Daleks. There's about 50% more Dalek here than I was expecting, and about 75% less Stormtrooper, which was a bit of a shock.
Well, it's usually good to give these things a metric, I feel.
Well,
yeah,
indeed.
absolutely. Thinking about the sort of the wargaming hobby in general, how do you feel that it's evolved over the last year?
We're in a golden age for sure. There are more games out there for people than ever before, and pretty much any flavour, any kind of thing out there, there is going to be some kind of weird, bizarre niche of game that you can get involved in. On the downside, it's also quite a difficult time for gamers because gaming is social, and if nobody else is playing the game, it doesn't matter what the game is, you've wasted your money. So I think, yes, there's more choice than ever before, but unlike a good buffet where actually all you're doing is you're eating your own food, you're picking something that you hope other people are going to be eating as well. And I think there are some fabulous games. I do think over time though you're going to see some consolidation, you're going to see the novelty of some things is going to drop away, and we'll be, I think, in a more secure place for gamers where there'll still be that innovation, there'll still be those exciting games, but they'll have a little bit more confidence that there are other people playing those games as well, and that they're likely to be able to roll up with a case of figures and get a game in.
Awesome. So just finally then, if you could give a sort of a consolidated message to every single person who attends Salute today, what would that be?
A consolidated message to every single person that attends Salute today, I would say enjoy shopping for what it is, and go out there, look at all the great games, get involved in the demo games. There are games here that people have put a lot of effort into. I'm not talking the commercial stuff now, I'm talking about the clubs and things that put together loads of demonstration games. Get involved in that, meet like-minded people, and just embrace the day for what it is.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Jamie from TT Combat, Salute, brilliant convention every year.
Yeah.
What brings you to Salute this year?
So this year, TT Combat really want to push their own games. We usually, or used to come with Troll Trader as kind of one big stall, but as you can see, I mean, we've got Troll Trader over there, TT Combat over there. They're becoming their own separate things now. We want to push all the games. Rumble Slam, Carnivale Kickstarter is almost finished. Well, it's finished, but we're awaiting it to go out this year. And then Drop Zone, Drop Fleet, and everything else that we do, and all the Scenic Strange as well. So we really want to push everything and kind of put a bit more back into the community rather than just kind of sell. We want to see what people are doing with the models and see everything they're doing.
So each year, Salute brings some surprises, whether it's in the show or any announcements made. What's most surprised you about the 2018 show?
I think I say it's a surprise. It happens every year, but it's just everyone's reactions to what we do, especially the scenics. People come up. I mean, we've got some great bundle deals going on at the moment, and people are always amazed to see, like, oh, you can do this for that little money? Well, yeah, it doesn't cost that much to do. There's no point in slapping a 50 quid price tag on something that we can sell for £8, you know. Why not?
Those are some great deals. We're definitely picking one up after this.
Good. Yeah, come and see me.
We're in April.
Yep.
2018 still stretching out beyond us.
Yep.
What are you most looking forward to?
I'm personally looking forward to Carnivale coming out, purely because I backed it before I actually started working for TT Combat. So the thing is, I'm in the warehouse all the time. I've seen the models, they're all done, but I'm not allowed to have them. Yeah, no, they keep clawing me back, so I can't have them until everyone, which is right, you know, I wouldn't want me to get special treatment above anyone else. So yeah, Carnivale, we've got a lot of interesting things coming out for Drop Fleet. So we've got the destroyers on pre-sale here, they're in the cabinets, and then there's something coming after the destroyers, which I can't tell you what it is, but it is big.
Well, that sort of segues into the next question, quite honestly. What are you most excited to tell us about the Drop Zone universe now you've acquired Hawk War Games?
So Drop Zone, at the moment, the fauna are just coming out. We've got the 3D renders, some of them in the cabinets. They are, well, the rules are already out. They've been out since Reconquest. As soon as they're all ready, we can put them into production, and yeah, they're good to go.
Brilliant. Can't wait to see those.
Yeah.
So when we first experienced TT Combat, it was a couple of years ago, and it was going through your terrain ranges.
Yeah.
What do you think makes a great bit of terrain?
Good question. I think, first of all, it has to be affordable. You know, if you are making a whole board for a war game, first of all, you've already put money into the actual army or force or whatever you're playing, and the rule books and everything like that. You've got to have a cheap way of kind of producing the terrain and playing on it. Otherwise, you've got nothing. You're back to kind of salt shakers and bottles and things like that. So I think the affordability, but also something cinematic. I want a board to tell a story, not just kind of, oh, we'll put this there, this there, this there, and it's a board. Why are those buildings there? What has made them abandoned? What story are these two armies fighting? What is there to that? That's what makes good terrain for me.
We've been salivating over the Drop Zone 10mm ranges.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get hold of some of that. But if you can reveal it to us, what sorts of themes are you thinking about exploring next?
I can't reveal too much, but what I can say is, I mean, we've just done sandstorm buildings to support Star Wars Legion and other kind of, well, anything that will be on a desert building, desert world, really. We're looking at, with the release of the new Fallout game, supporting that a little bit and having kind of abandoned and run-down versions of our existing buildings. I really don't know how much I can say. We've got a lot of plans on the horizon, and we're actually having a massive warehouse expansion happening in a couple of months, which will quite literally double our production capabilities and literal space. So we're going to be able to get more designers in, we're going to be able to churn out more products, which just means the possibilities are endless. We always want to see people's ideas of what they've done with our terrain and suggestions. If there's a game out there that has got loads of players but there's no terrain, let us know. Why not? Why can't we make the terrain? Let's do it.
Well, we'll certainly keep an eye on that and hopefully throw a few suggestions your way if we can think of anything. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Have a great salute.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
So I'm Rob, I'm the community manager and online sales and all sorts at Mantic. And then Martin, I'm not sure, what do you do?
I do anything else.
Yeah.
No,
he makes
I
the team.
do. I work in the marketing team with Rob, so
Yeah.
I do all the retail and trade. So we're obviously having a great time here at Salute.
Yeah.
Always. Is there anything particular that's brought you here to Salute this year?
So I came because obviously we are demoing Dreadball,
Yep.
which is Dreadball 2nd edition. So we released that just the end of last month actually. So I've been doing demos of that all day. I did get killed by like a 10-year-old child earlier on, which is always fun. So I've been doing demos all day, and Martin has been...
So I've been talking to a lot of people about Hellboy, very exciting. I've also brought some terrain crate stuff with me as well, so that comes to retail next month. So a lot of D&D players will be really enjoying that.
We're doing a new Walking Dead like show exclusive booster, which is like Peg Leg Dale. So I don't know if you follow the comics that much, but obviously Dale has an unfortunate accident and loses a leg, so becomes a pirate. Is that canon? I'm not sure that's right. Okay, that's fine. He becomes a pirate. Yeah, the Walking Dead pirates. That's what happens later in that. So yeah, that was really popular early on. And then, like I say, yeah, getting taken out by children. Children are extremely ruthless when it comes to playing games. I've found they do want to kill me as much as possible. It's mildly terrifying.
The paint and take table has been popular all day. So people get a walker, they paint it up, and they can take it with them. And the deal that we've got with Star Saga. So Star Saga's absolutely flown out. So that's our sci-fi dungeon crawler game. And the people have loved that one. What would you say you're most looking forward to in 2018? Is it Hellboy? Is there something else you've got queued up? Or?
I mean, for me, it's definitely Hellboy. I mean, I've been working kind of closely with the guys developing that. So it's James Hewitt, James M. Hewitt, who's at EDG Games. He's ex-Games Workshop. He's worked on like Necromunda and Blood Bowl. So he's the designer of Hellboy. So I've been working closely on him with that to kind of get the feel of the comics. Because it's all going to be based on the comics rather than the films. And the result is a really good board game. James has done a really solid job. So for me, I am absolutely over the moon and ecstatic. I can't wait to kind of show people more details. So we've got a load of blogs coming up about that before the Kickstarter. But yeah, Hellboy is definitely number one for me.
For me, probably Vanguard. So Vanguard goes to the Kickstarter backers end of this year.
Yes, that's Kings of War Vanguard. That's like the skirmish version of Kings. Well, it's not a skirmish version of Kings of War. It's based in the same world, but it's kind of like a great entry point for people who have never played Kings of War and have kind of always liked the look of it.
People love skirmish games nowadays. So that kind of size warband type scenarios. Yeah, really looking forward to that one. I mean, that kind of leads into something we've noticed a lot more small scale games this year compared to previous years. Do you think that's where the hobby's going in the near future? I think there's room for it all. I think Kings of War is as strong as it always has been. I've just started building another army. I know you have.
Yeah.
So I think there's a place for it all, even the sports games. So we just relaunched Dreadball 2nd edition about 2-3 weeks ago, as Rob said earlier.
Yeah.
That's as popular as it ever has been.
Yeah.
And we've even backed it up with league tables and an online resource for a new website. So yeah, room for it all.
I think obviously with a big game, it's just a lot bigger commitment. I mean, like I say, we're both doing Kings of War armies at the minute. I've so far done 5 units, which is 100 models. So when you kind of think of it like that, you think, well, in a skirmish game, that would be probably 10 games.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's just, that's 5 units. Now, that's half my army. But I think for me, personally, when you've finished a full army, like for Kings of War, the effect of actually having, 20 troops on there, all with a load of miniatures on, is fantastic. And I kind of get that buzz out of it from a hobby point of view.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm terrible at the game, as with most games, but I do kind of like that spectacle of seeing them all lined up. And I love sometimes at the events we'll have a big 20,000 point game at Kings of War, which fills several tables and looks really epic. So I think there's definitely room. Skirmish games are a great way to get into it, but then obviously you can kind of take it as far as you want, really.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so I guess last question is, if there was one message you could give to everybody at Salute this year, what would that be?
Back Hellboy.
Yes, I'd say. I mean, obviously, thanks for all the support. We obviously do a lot of Kickstarters at Mantic, and all the time the community is supporting us with that. So, thank you for all that. We really try and listen to the fans and do as much as we can. So yeah, thanks for supporting Mantic, and long may it continue, I guess.
And what Rob was saying there was, in a long way, was back Hellboy. Back Hellboy. Yeah. Okay, cool. So go away and back Hellboy.